See that? Strawbery Bank. Very cool museum. Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Shout out to my hometown. Let's roll. Connectors, what's up? DK here. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, today I want to talk about organization, but not organization as in an existing thing with staff and payroll. I mean organizing people to do an initiative. So you don't have an organization thing. You're looking to organize people. And what does that mean? Now, truth be told, I get a lot of requests from friends and colleagues and folks just in and around my community looking for me to help with putting together something, but it's not a client situation, obviously, because they're not an organized group. They don't have any funding. They're trying to do something good for the community, and they ask for my help, and this gets a little dicey right here. I mean, musicians and artists, you probably know what I'm getting at. You get constantly asked to play songs, play at a concert, play at a gala, artists make a piece, commission a piece, but there's no money behind it. And if you said yes to every single thing pro bono, you couldn't pay your bills, you couldn't pay your rent, you couldn't even start an organization, couldn't even start a business if you wanted to. So I want to take that part out of it for a second because that's just an ongoing push-pull that a lot of us have, and we're always battling this. How many times can you say yes without it being a transaction, without it being something that your livelihood is? You have to put value in what you do. So I'm not talking about this. I guess in a way I'm talking about this, but honestly, what I really want to focus more on is what do you do when you don't have a thing, when you don't have the thing of an organization around you. The truth of the matter is this: you need to have a there. You need to have something that is going to help tether people to your project. So if that is you have to build a social media platform, or you get people together once a week and you sit in a coffee shop, you need a there, because without it, what happens? Well, life happens. People are busy with their day jobs. Other projects get in the way. Their family needs attention. Just stuff happens. And you can feel bad, you can feel angry, you can feel disappointed in them not being more part of your project. But here's the reality of this. That's reality. That's what's going to happen. Unless you do something about it. This is where organization, getting that there matters. You, as the primary, the person who's trying to make this initiative happen, the person who's trying to put this project together, whether you think you can't do it all or you think you can do it all, you still have to be the center mass. You are the force of gravity because it's your project. So you have to find a way to get everybody else organized on that. And that's the there. So as much as people say, yep, I'm going to help you out, I'm with you 100%, going to make this happen with you, as much as you feel that kind of impact, especially when you pitch an initial idea and they say, man, that's an awesome idea, let's do it, I'm with you. You have to control the narrative. You have to control the there to make sure people can be tethered to something. So how do you do it? Well, there's a few things you can do, I guess. 1, build some social media platforms. They're free, they're accessible. Most people have it right now, and so you can gain people by just putting them into a common area, chat room, Facebook page, private messaging group, Twitter handles, whatever you need to do. You could just build something, build it, and they will come. And they will have a place that they can actually focus and have some information shared with them. Or take it offline. Get it in the terrestrial. Find a spot where you can meet. A coffee shop, a favorite store, a library, a park, your house, your apartment, anything, anywhere. Get the there. If you feel that social media isn't the best place for your demographic, then maybe you need to take it off social media. If you're trying to do things for people who aren't there in social media, don't force them into having to start this new thing and also build in the system of social media they not be accustomed to. Have a place that they can meet, and then assume they won't be able to help you. I know it sounds terrible. I know it sounds terrible. People don't mean it when they can't make a meeting or they can't do this. But you have to assume the worst. And the reason you have to do that is because there isn't a problem with the people that you're asking. It's that life gets in the way, that thing we talked about before. It just was going to happen. And you have to realize that you have to know that's going to happen to you too. Now, these are broad brush generalizations. You're going to have some great rock star people who are completely loyal to you and your program. They're going to want to be a part of it. But if you assume that you might have to do more than you think and that you're going to have to lift more than you have, that will make it better for you. Just assume that. This is not to be a negative person. It's not to say that people are unreliable or unsupportive of what you want. But the bottom line is this. If you are a vendor or a supporter of the arts or something that this is your job and your career, it's very easy to push this down on the priority level because there isn't any dollars coming in. And there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so many projects a person can handle, and maybe yours gets pushed aside a little bit. If you are the organizer and this is the one thing that you're pushing right now and you're trying really hard to do that, your priority level is very different from a volunteer or a supporter or friend of yours who's saying that this idea is good and wants to be a part of it. But that's at the moment. So again, I'm not saying this because I want you to think your friends are unreliable. It's just easy to prepare for this when you set your mind to thinking, I might have to carry this load. And by the way, if you haven't thought that already for a project that you're starting, you probably should reset to begin with, because I think that's a safe assumption to start with. I'm going to have to pull a lot of this on my own the first time until it gets going. A lot of people they kind of want to see. They want to wait and see if this thing is successful. But the other part is this. If you build a good core of friends or colleagues or performers or event planners or community supporters of any kind, if you build a good core, you set the values of what you are, what the event is, matching it in alignment with what they are and what they believe, there is a good chance that those folks will stay with you and support your effort as much as they can. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm just completely negative on this about not having a there, but you build that by building the culture of you and the initiative you're trying to put out and matching it up with people. So it's not just a blind help me, help me, help me. It's actually saying, no, I think with our touch, we can make this thing happen if we all work on a little bit of this. And that'll happen. It's pretty cool. So believe me when I say this to you, it'll be painful. It'll be stressful. You'll be struggling because some people who have signed up and said, I'm with you, then they wane away. Or other people who don't really get into it right away, ramp back into it. You're going to have comes and goes, right? It's a revolving door when it has no organization around it. With an organization, you have built-in staff. You have built-in board, staff, and volunteer base that you could tap into and have a little bit more reliance on because the system is there. When you don't, the first thing you need to think to yourself is, how do I build a there to give people the opportunity to tether to something? Don't take it personally. This is a Godfather moment after 20 years of doing this in this sector. It's not personal. Very often it's business. But if you can think this way, you'll be better prepared when things happen, and you'll be better to celebrate those who are with you and making it happen so that your project can get off the ground. And guys, I'm going to end it right there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again. I do appreciate it. My name is DK, and I'm with the Connect the Dots movement. If you want to check out some information on us, links into the doobly-doo below. Please like and share this video. On Facebook, we're at facebook.com/ConnectTheDotsMovement. We're also on Twitter if you want to follow us there and ask questions there. We are at WeConnectDots in both places. You can ask questions of us because every so often I put together a Q&A and I'll answer the questions to you on one of these videos. If you need to reach out to me directly and you want to talk about your organization, your board, your staff, your volunteer base, anything within the nonprofit sector or social enterprise, small business, please email me right here at doug@connectthedotsmovement.org. I'd be happy to talk with you, and I'd be happy to get to know what you're doing and mission-wise and your values and your voice, and aligning that up and see if there's ways that we can partner together, connect up as it were. But again, thanks so much for hanging out with me, folks. My name is DK. I appreciate your time, and you have just been connected. I'll see you around. Special shout out, 500 Men, York City, Pennsylvania. We had an awesome time reading with students of elementary schools all around the city of York. Special shout out to my fellow men who got together this morning and made this happen. Jackson Elementary here in York, Pennsylvania. I got to hang out with two classes, Miss Kelly's class, first graders, and Ms. Rodriguez's class, fourth graders. And it was super cool hanging out with them. Got to read a couple of books. We're having some fun. So yeah, man, shout out to everybody who make time to do that. And thanks so much for the teachers and administrative staff at the elementary schools here in York, Pennsylvania. You guys do great work. And thanks so much for taking care of our future, our students. Nonprofit power.